Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of March 14th through March 18th, 2022. Okay, and what I'll do right here is I will look at all the major forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just like I always do, and I do that only so we can see what happened this past week, right? And then I'm going to compare this time frame to higher time frames, such as the 1 hour, 4 hour chart. And this will give us a bigger picture of what the market is doing, right? And then I wanted to try to give you my best analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week, right? Based on my experience and my new magnificent trend indicator right here, right? So this past week has been really crazy, okay? And a lot of that has to do with, the war fighting going on between Ukraine and Russia right now. But that's not all to blame, okay? There's a lot of spikes in inflation. There's problems with the oil industry. There's a lot of problems going on that the U.S. government has caused, okay, not Russia. So I know in a press conference that Joe Biden wants to try to blame Russia for all the problems right now, but it's not all Russia to blame. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just here to talk about the charts and what's going on in the market right now. So there's a lot of mixed movement, okay? Typically you'll have like certain pairs like the Australian dollar, Great British pound, euro. All these will follow the same trends, whereas all the US dollar pairs will follow the opposite same trends, okay? But that didn't quite happen this past week. Everything kind of had a mind of its own, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. But to start with, I have Euro USD pulled up on the chart, right? So with Euro USD, we definitely see, nothing crazy, right? But the price ended almost where it began. So it looked like the price was going up and then started going back down. But we have two blue arrows, right? So technically we are in an uptrend, all right? We have a blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow. That's okay. So hopefully this week the price is going to continue to escalate up, right? That's what we want. And if I shift the chart, we see that this signal came in late on Friday. Okay, it's a very fresh signal and it could repaint. Okay, now it looks like the price is formed a pretty solid level of support right here, but again, this could definitely repaint. Now I want to point out something real quick. We have a high point right here and a high point here, so we could draw a trend line from here to there like that. Now this is not absolute guarantee, but this is definitely a resistance because of those 2 points connecting. What we need is a third point to connect here. So my guess is that will happen this week. Now if this trend line breaks, we get some candles above that, then that's when you want to buy. Yeah, you could probably buy right now, but like I said, there's the chance that this indicator is going to repaint and drop even more. So please be careful right now. Do not buy right this minute. All right, be careful. Look for that. Wait for that trend line to break, and then you want to buy. And then you can hold and wait until the next opposite red arrow to close the trade. If we go to the 4 hour chart, I'm going to show you something. Okay, now here's that trend line that I drew. So we're already going into an uptrend. So we had a nice big up, surge up, and then this right here is called a pullback. Okay, now if you look here on the 1 hour chart, what I think is going to happen is the price is going to drop some more, like I said. But the good thing is we're already in an uptrend. So if you bought now, you technically would be okay, but do not buy right now. Okay, we had, like I said, we had an uptrend, pullback, uptrend. Next, the next uptrend going up, the next cycle going up, you want to wait for this trend line to break. Okay, yes, there's no arrows right here, but that's fine. Okay, we have to use some basic forex, terminology and analysis, right? So that's kind of my goal here, is to give you some basic strategies other than just forex. I mean, just using an indicator. So yes, indicator is great, but we still need to look at what's happening in the market right now. So anyhow, with that said, the price is definitely going to be going up, but wait for that trend line to break. And moving on to the next pair, GBP USD. I already drew a trend line here because I was comparing trends, but this one here is the same exact scenario. Okay, same exact scenario. Okay, and I shift the chart over. We see that the price here has steadily dropped, which is interesting. If I go back to Euro USD, put on a 30-minute time frame, okay, we saw here that, like I said, the price had gone up and back down, whereas GBP USD just went straight down for most of the week. So that's very interesting. So yes, usually these two follow very similar patterns, but this one was very different. Okay, and what's going to happen is this one is definitely getting ready to go up, but right now this signal is very fresh. Came in on late Friday, like I already said before. So it's the same thing. Wait for this trend line here to break and then buy. Okay, and I would wait until at least the London session on Monday before I even check the trades. So do not rush. What I think is happening is the price was going to drop more, and then probably Tuesday or so going into Wednesday we should see this break and form a nice uptrend. At that point you could buy and wait for the next red arrow. Now interesting here is that if I zoom out on the 4-hour, we see we had a long downtrend. Okay, on the Euro USD we had a long downtrend, but we already hit that support and we started forming an uptrend. This one is just now hit the blue arrow on the 4-hour chart. So definitely some interesting movement. It's kind of similar, but this one had a much greater downtrend. Now let's move on to Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Again, this one has some really interesting movement. Okay, almost like a roller coaster, and the price ended a lot lower than where it began, and we got a red arrow here and another red arrow, so that means the price is headed down, not up. Okay, and this GBP USD is getting ready to head up, Euro USD is headed up, but Australian dollar looks like it's headed down. So they typically always follow the same pattern, but again, this one is very different. So it's kind of mind-boggling. And if we look here on the 4-hour chart, okay, get a bigger picture, right? We see that it is definitely forming a downtrend. So now looks like a good time to sell. 1-hour chart, yeah, see the 1-hour chart's already forming. So you could technically sell right now and just hold it, okay, until you get a blue arrow. I don't know. This indicator does not really work on the daily chart, but yeah, on the daily chart it shows to go down, but that's not so accurate. So stay on the 4-hour chart right here, and we are thinking. I'm thinking the price is going to go down to maybe this level. Okay, we have a blue arrow here followed by a higher blue arrow followed by a potentially higher blue arrow, and that would put us. If I mark this resistance here, see the price had formed here and hit that support. This is a resistance before and it broke. Now it's a support. So the price was definitely going to hit that support. So, but I don't know if it's going to break, and I think it will. No guarantees, of course. If it does, it might drop down to this level here, just a support right there. Okay, you see they had hit a resistance here before and formed a support now. So more likely than not, this is where it's going to hit. Okay, this will be the final destination. And will it drop that far this week? I don't know, because that's, how many points is that? That's about a 1,200 point drop. So that's kind of a big drop for 1 week. So yeah, I would expect this to drop down probably the next 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of up and down movement with a gradual drop. So we saw the price here come drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop again, and that's typically what happens in forex all the time. Okay, so we can expect this to drop long term. If you want to sell right now and wait for the next blue arrow, no problem. Okay, no problem. this trade might be open for the next week or two. Okay, I don't know, at least another week. So definitely be waiting on that one. But yeah, you can go ahead and sell right now and get in and catch those pips as it drops. Okay, and moving on to US dollar versus Swiss franc. Now again, we see this one doing something totally different. The other ones are dropping, kind of, right? And now we saw here in the Euro USD that is getting ready to go back up, and GBP USD is getting ready to go back up, and well, Australian dollar, I don't know. But if those are getting ready to go back up, US dollar should be getting ready to do the opposite, go back down, right? And we see here on this 30-minute time frame that we actually hit a strong level of resistance. So it's going to be seen on the 4-hour also. If we go to the 4-hour chart, and that's why I designed this indicator like this. So no matter from the 4-hour time frame all the way down, it's going to be the same signal. Okay, that way you don't get any false signals, if you will. Okay, if you go on a 5-minute chart, it's still going to tell you to sell. Okay, if you go on a 1-minute chart, it's going to tell you to sell. You're only going to see the same arrows. It's got to refresh. I might have screwed up. There it goes. Now see, there's on the 1-minute chart, it just took a second. So anyways, go back to the 4-hour chart, and we see here this is a very fresh signal again, but it's definitely at a strong high point. So soon it's going to be dropping. Okay, definitely. But again, we need to draw some trend lines. So whenever you have an uptrend, you need to find your support. Okay, I'm not good at making hand signals, but watch this. Boom. I'm going to show you something. Okay, if you don't know how to make trend lines, right? So we want to mark this point, this point. This is our low. Technically, zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. These points here don't touch, but we have a point here, point here. I don't know about that one, but that's good enough. We're looking for a third point. You need 3 points to make a perfect trend line. Okay, so we're waiting for the price to drop and touch this, and it could touch this and bounce back up again. I don't know. I have a feeling that the prices probably will go up a little bit higher before it finally breaks and comes down, and that's okay. If you zoom out a little ways, watch this. Get a bigger picture of what's going on. See, we see a lot of high points here, but this point here was kind of the highest right here, and that would most likely be where the price is going to head. If I zoom back in so you can see here, we still have a ways to go. Okay, the price will probably dip back down and go back up some more, and what will happen is excuse me, this indicator will definitely repaint if that happens. Okay, that's normal. Don't be scared of the repaint. All right, yes, it can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but that's just how forex works. But the thing is, we have this trend line. The trend line is the Bible. Okay, that is the concrete evidence of what the market is doing. Okay, we have uptrends and we have downtrends. Okay, here we have a downtrend, and if we mark our resistance on this downtrend, I'm just going to show you real quick. Like that. Yeah, because that's not really good. Anyways, like that. I could mark that. We have a high point here, high point there, and now this one broke. The only problem is, at least here there's no blue arrow. Okay, but that's just a kind of a basic example. Okay, whenever you have a downtrend, you want to wait for the trend line to break before you want to buy, but you do not buy unless you have a blue arrow. Okay, just don't do it. And here there's a blue arrow, and we have a really sharp downtrend here. You like that. Okay, you can mark your resistance there, and when it breaks, that's when you want to buy. Okay, so anyhow, this is some basic forex, right? Boring stuff, but I just want to kind of let you know what's going on in the market right now. We have a strong support. Expect the price to go up some more. Wait for this trend line to break and then sell. once you sell, you can wait for the next opposite blue arrow, which could take a week or two. I don't know. Okay, but at least you don't have to be constantly checking this every few hours. Okay, you can check it once a day and be perfectly fine. Okay, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, check it. All right, it only takes a few minutes. Moving on to USD JPY. Again, here we saw a nice steady uptrend, and that's not bad. If we could predict the future, we could have bought all the way back here and closed it here. Okay, we just don't know. But what we do know is we had all these blue arrows, and if we wait to the next red arrow, wow, you'd have a lot of profit along the way. So that's what's nice about this indicator. When you have an uptrend like that, you only want to buy on the blue arrows, and there's no red arrows in between. Okay, so yeah, if you had some red arrows in here, you could sell, make some profit, obviously, but in the long run, it's going to go up. Okay, here you only have red arrows because it's going down. So now we got a red arrow, meaning that it should be going down. So, but again, this is very fresh. You want to wait for a while. If we go to the 4-hour chart to get a bigger picture of what's going on, you see we had a lot of up and down, movement, blue and red arrows, but we only see one, one arrow at a time in between. So actually, there's 2 red arrows, but on a 4-hour chart, you're going to see fewer red. You're going to see fewer arrows of any particular color. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyhow, it's getting hot in the Philippines, right? So if you have an uptrend, again, you need to find your support. Now this is a pretty sharp uptrend right here, but again, we want to mark our support. Now we have a lot of points right here touching this, so that's okay, that's good, but just be leery, be careful. This will potentially keep going up because we have such a big uptrend, but anything that goes up must come down. That's just how forex works. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see that this reached a pretty strong high point, much higher than anything I have here on the market, any other high point. So it could definitely go higher, and I'm kind of shocked actually that it went that high, but I feel that the US dollar is definitely getting ready to drop. Okay, and it's probably going to be dropping for the next few weeks. That's what I am willing to bet. We're going into the middle of the month right now, so yeah, be careful. Wait for this to drop, and then once it breaks, you can sell and wait for the next blue arrow. Yeah, it's real basic, right? Pretty simple. I hate repeating myself over and over. Sound like a broken record, my God. But it's all the same thing from week after week, man. It's crazy, but we have uptrends and downtrends. Everything goes in a cycle. So you got to follow your trend lines, and most definitely follow my indicator. Okay, you could use it, trade on your cell phone, because you get these push notifications on your cell phone, and then you can manually draw the trend lines on your mobile app on your phone and just trade it off of your cell phone, off your mobile app. Okay, very simple, right? So anyhow, now let's look at US dollar versus Canadian dollar. This one, sad, man. Really strange market behavior, and I guarantee this has a lot to do with oil right now. Okay, oil prices are skyrocketing, and both of these economies, US dollar and Canadian dollar, they thrive on oil. Okay, so I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I'll probably stay away from trading this pair right now. It's just kind of strange, but we did have a nice uptrend, and it's definitely going down here. So you can catch pips either way. Will it keep dropping now? I don't know, because it's already dropped so much. It looks like it's getting ready to go back up, but we do not have a blue arrow right now, so it's kind of bothering me. So I'm guessing it's going to drop more, but it's going to form a blue arrow here soon. If I go to the 4-hour chart, we can get a bigger picture of what's going on. And we see the price went to a pretty high point, and it's already dropping. So if I shift the chart a little bit, what we're looking for is the price to drop. I don't know, man. It's just so iffy right now. But let's say we have a resistance here. Okay. Now it's already broke that. Crap. Well, this one, shit. Come on, drop. I'm trying to drag this down. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down here. I want to put a horizontal line right here on this support line. Okay, and let's just say it drops down that far, which is very, very likely that it would do that. It would form another blue arrow here at the same point. Okay, it doesn't always happen that way, but could very well happen. Okay, and I'd be willing to bet right now that you could just sell. Okay, you could put a sell trade right now, and then put an additional sell limit pending order, you know, 400 or 500 points above. And in case it retraces, there's a pullback, then you can catch that second trade also, and then have both of them drop in profit. All right, and then close it when you get the next blue arrow. Now, once you get the next blue arrow, once you get the blue arrow, then you need to mark your resistance coming down, right? And like I always say, when you have a downtrend, mark your resistance. You have an uptrend, mark your support. So this one here, we're going to do like that. We're going to mark our resistance, and obviously there's no blue arrow right now, but just to pretend for the second, just pretend there's the blue arrow right now, and we want to wait for that candles to break above. This is on a 4-hour chart, so we want about 2 or 3 candles to break above before we actually buy. Okay, 3 candles is good, and then you can buy. And you know, 3 candles, that means 3 times 4 is 12 hours. So that'll be a good indication that this is definitely going up. But again, wait for the blue arrow to form, and then wait for that trend line to break, and then you can buy. So you could sell right now, close it when you get the next blue arrow, and then before you buy again, wait for this trend line to break. Makes sense? So yeah, don't be afraid of this US dollar, Canadian dollar, but it is definitely not following the patterns of the other USD pairs. It's on its own world right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with the US dollar or Canadian dollar. They're both in sad shape right now, but it's okay. As long as they have uptrends and downtrends, we make money either way. It doesn't really matter too much. So anyhow, I hope I didn't bore you too much. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about these predictions. If you have any other currency pair that you want me to analyze, okay, you want me to look at, just hit me up on Facebook. I don't care if it's gold or silver, oil, stock, whatever, stocks, indices, crypto. I hate analyzing crypto because it's so damn volatile. But anyway, whatever you want me to look at, just hit me up on Facebook, and I will do my very best to help you. There is a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Okay, please contact me there first. Okay, do not leave a comment on this video because chances are I probably won't see it. But do contact me on Facebook. Also, I'll put a link from our private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. And also, there is a link for my magnificent trend indicator, and there's a video you can watch that explains how my magnificent trend indicator works. It's very, very simple, and I can help you one-on-one. You know, if you contact me, I can show you some strategies that you can use with this trend indicator as well, that I'm just not going to show you right now. But anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Just let me know I can help you, and thank you so much. Have a good day.